Hi, welcome to the episode here. My name is Nate Taves, and joining me in a moment will be
Khoury.
I am going to vamp for a second while he digests his first sip of booze for the night. We haven't podcasted in a while, sir. And in that amount of time, I have come up with some things that I thought were kind of humorous, and you come up with some things that I asked you to gather. So this is going to be our list episode, and I thought that we could have a little bit of fun with this. However, we just shot a video that you can find on this YouTube channel where you're hearing these, that we shot, and what it is it's us saying why there shouldn't be a visual element to our podcast, because it's two guys shooting the shit. That's really all it is. And don't you get a better image of what I look like when you hear my voice, or what Casey looks like when you hear his voice, and what you might get through a video or a picture? I mean, Christ, use your imagination. It's probably better than what we look like. No offense. I mean, I know I look better in people's imaginations than I do when they see me. I know that because when I see people see me for the first time, their faces fall about 10 feet. But anyway, the other thing that just struck me kind of funny, and maybe you'll agree on this, feel free to jump in at any point, but if you notice, we don't have in the room that we're in anything that says on air or now recording or anything. So people have no idea how to tell how we're recording stuff or not. Any thoughts on that?
What? Yeah, that's true. I mean,
wake up and smell the booze, kids.
Yeah, there's none of that stuff. Get over it. It's not a radio station.
Right. No, it's two guys in a house or an apartment, depending on where we are, talking. That's all. It's not like we're making money doing this, but wouldn't that be nice? That if I could parlay it into something, would you be interested in like taking this as a tour, and going out and podcasting, telling stories from our lives or things that we enjoyed watching or stupid whatever that we ran across?
Yeah, that'd be cool. And that ties up some stuff I'll mention later. Well, I mean.
Yeah.
Well, some.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's get to it. Let's start with your stuff, because mine's kind of scripted sounding.
Well,
I had asked you, I believe, to come up with entertainment stuff. So let's.
So I'm going to start with is it's a quote that they posted up after. Obviously after, because it wouldn't make sense to post it before.
Well, no, I sure after. But,
after I finished watching a film called Time After Time, this quote came up.
Okay. Time After Time. Is this that H.G. Wells chases Jack the Ripper through time?
No. Okay. Time After Time is about this guy who comes back into the town where he grew up in, and he runs into he's 30 years old, and he runs into his 55-year-old self, who's come back to correct some stuff, like not getting this discount place that could run all the local businesses to set up shop and so forth and so on.
Okay.
And so the quote afterwards is a classic quote by Kierkegaard,
Yes.
and it goes like this: "Life can only be understood backwards. Unfortunately, it must be lived forward."
That's true. That's true. Hindsight is 20/20, and it's all bullshit. It's bad for you. Sorry, couldn't resist.
So yeah, I thought that was a great quote, by the Danish author and philosopher Søren Kierkegaard.
Okay. Okay, so that kicks off our entertainment section.
Yeah.
Did you, now this may have you digging a little bit, but did you have anywhere in there any gossip about celebs that you were interested in?
Gossip. I read the gossip and then, I don't know, it was just something with the gossip, I don't know what it was, about the gossip. Mainly because I wouldn't want anybody, gossiping about me, but not that I'm a celebrity or anything, but I do, I'm getting some acting stuff together and all that, but around here, although it'll be stuff that will be, so a lot of it will be seen, throughout, but that said, I just would never want someone gossiping about me, so I've never really been into gossip myself.
Okay, but I guess let me ask you this then. Have you found any nuggets of anything that you went, oh, that's interesting?
Well, there was...
This could also parlay into any movies that you might have heard rumored that may be coming out. So, touch on that even.
Well, the thing that I found interesting was not the fact that they're going to be doing a remake of Blue Lagoon, which I think is god-awfully wrong, but the interesting part is that they have Indiana Evans fully clothed, and then they went on to say, yeah, there's not gonna be the Brooke Shields no top no problem attitude this time around.
Nice, Paul.
Which was, I mean, come on, it's a sexy film if you've ever seen it, and
I haven't. I'll have to put that on my list.
So that was, an interesting, retrospective. They have this
retrospective.
Well, but I mean, have this, hot girl fully clothed, But then I thought to myself, okay, they have her fully clothed in this film that's supposed to be, this, what is the leading lady? They have, this sexy girl, Indiana Evans now, Brooke Shields then, but they wanted to have her fully clothed. Yet they allowed this model, who has no business playing a nun, come out of a pool with a bathing suit and a habit on. Now
you're thinking of the Three Stooges trailer? Okay.
So it's like,
let's name
where's this country going? We're selectively choosing when it's okay?
As a matter of fact, yes, and it's called the MPA board, which ties right into a who the fuck knows celebrity gossip thing. The MPA board has been picking on a little film called Bully recently. Have you heard any of this at all?
No.
Well, basically, Bully is a documentary about just that, bullying. Surprise, surprise. Pay attention to the title, people. It actually tells you what it is.
Is that all types, or is it just like the traditional that I remember growing up?
It's physical and emotional bullying.
Okay, so it doesn't bring in, the fact that in this day and age, there's also cyberbullying.
Well, I don't know if the cyberbullying is part of it because I haven't seen it yet.
I mean, there is a separate film called Cyberbully, but
right. But I mean, I don't know if this film has that. But as far as I can glean from any article on it or the synopsis, it deals with the traditional bullying in school. And Harvey and Bob Weinstein are the, I guess, executive producers slash distributors of this film. And they went to the MPA board and said, we want a PG-13 for this. And the MPA said, no, you gotta take an R because of language and one brutal violence scene.
Mm-hmm.
And and they said, well, we'd like to appeal it. So they appealed and they lost the appeal. So then they said, fine, and, because it was like, well, it's a service if you make it PG-13 to service younger kids about bullying, blah, blah, blah. So no one can do so. They said, fine, we're not going to bring any, and this is all hearsay, I don't know how much of it's true, but IMDb carries most of the stories that I'm referring to, so if you're smart, go to imdb.com, type in bully. Once you're on that page, start looking at the news stories. It's that freaking simple. And I'll even wait while you do it. Ready? That's all enough. But it's one of these things that, for the life of me, I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently one of the Weinstein brothers, I don't know which one off the top of my head, apparently said, this is a huge blow to me personally, I can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to release any more films to the MPAA for rating for the foreseeable future. Well, the MPAA issued a memorandum when they got wind of the fact, again, allegedly, that, and this is now I'm citing Hollywood Babylon, the podcast done by Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman on smodcast.com. Wonderful podcast, check it out. Anyway, according to them, there was a memorandum issued by the MPAA when they got wind of the fact that the Weinstein Company was going to release the film unrated. And they said, well, you can't do that. And if you do that, we're going to issue a memorandum saying that all theaters have to treat this as an NC-17 then. So, in essence, it appears like they were bullying the Weinsteins about the film. To make matters better, in terms of and weird shit continues in the story, Weinstein's finally said, okay, well, we'll cut 3 F words and get it to a PG-13 that way, and the MPAA agreed. So now the MPAA has given it PG-13. It's going to be released in local theaters nationwide on April 13th. It already opened in LA and in New York with its R rating attached. And mind you, prior to the PG-13, the Regal Company, Regal Cinemas, said we'll treat it as an R. And the AMC theaters said we'll treat it as an R, but we'll make it available to people under the age of 13 if they have a permission slip, which you can get on our website. So it was kind of like, here, bravo, you bypassed the problems with the rating system. So all that to say, now that all that stuff settled and they got the PG-13 that they wanted, and now there's another rating board hosted by like parents of kids for television, and they're pissed now because it's like, well, by making the concession that the 3 R's less can be a PG-13, you're basically you might as well take away the rating system. It's that bad of a sin, according to them. So that's what I'm waiting for as a Catholic to jump on this.
Get back into action. Yeah, see what happens in the United States, It's like, oh God, I'd be better off working in France or Brazil. You wouldn't have to deal with this.
Yeah, well, France fuck the Americans. Yeah, but other than that, and that's a joke. We just exaggerate people based on stereotypes.
There's more, openness in Europe and South America. They wouldn't, put you through a lot of that stuff. So.
Right, but I mean, to some extent, don't you think that films from there are almost better for that?
Yeah.
Things like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and stuff are much better over there than they are in the U.S.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Yeah.
So, by the way, did you hear that The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the U.S. version, was a flop, according to the MGM company? Who bankrolled part of it?
Wow.
Now, mind you, in what fucking world is it 250% profit a bomb? Explain that to me. Even with distribution costs and stuff, they still made that much of a profit. How is that bad?
Yeah.
It might not have been what they wanted for the numbers, but you know what? Something's better than nothing. And in this economy where some people can't even afford to eat out, if they're able to get, that kind of box office out of them, good, bravo, you did a good job. Move the fuck on.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what the fuck, it's 2012, we just gotta loosen up,
Loosen up, that's something you should never say to a woman.
It's good to loosen up, not be so tight-ass, when it comes to ratings. And that goes towards everything, Loosening up goes towards everything. It goes towards everything everything out there. It goes towards films, movies,
TV shows.
It goes towards the Augusta National, for crying out loud. Let the ladies in. I mean, come on, seriously. I can understand in the 1920s, but also in the 1920s, you didn't let other people in. But how are you gonna explain that? Well, sure, in the 1920s, someone like Tiger Woods wouldn't have been allowed to play or even in the tournament. But we're not going to let ladies in. And they, oh, so you let him in because he has a penis? I mean...
That's what the gay guy said.
No, it's seriously, let them in. They just want to watch, up there, right up at chorus level,
They want to be on par with it. Sorry, I snuck that one in there.
That's fine.
They want to be on par with it. Possibly the worst joke I'll make tonight, who knows?
But no, I mean, seriously, I mean, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Sure. I mean, granted, it's Augusta National, blah, blah, blah. Most prestigious golf course in the world. I'll never wind up playing there, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. Speaking of beside the point, we got off the point. How about we... yeah, right back to it. Yeah, what have you got in terms of maybe movies that you're looking forward to?
Movies I'm looking forward to. Hold on here. Gotta see which. This is actually not films right here. I gotta remember to come back to those. Well, there's. I'll start with the first one I wrote down, called Cabin in the Woods.
Okay.
It's a independent fantasy horror film.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard a little bit about it. So you're looking forward to that one?
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Let's see, what is this?
Can you read your own writing?
I can read my own writing, but TLAM. Hold on.
Sounds like a call station.
Yeah, but no. So I remember what TLAM stands for. I'll say that it's about girls that believe they can get more out of the relationship by using this book. However, the guys get a hold of it and decide to give them a taste of their medicine.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I just can't think of the title.
Oh, Think Like a Man. There you go.
Think Like a Man. There you go.
Okay, get back to those two on top that are movies.
You should have never said that.
I mean, they're not movies, they're stage, so I'll get to them later.
Yeah.
And then there's another one I'm looking forward to. There's a few others I'm looking forward to.
The Raven, I see on there.
The Raven, yeah.
That's John Cusack as Edgar Allan Poe, and he's hired to solve murders that are based on his works of quote-unquote fiction. Interesting premise, written about many times, and now finally part of the screen. I eagerly anticipate that one myself.
Yeah, and before I get on to other ones, there's one I forgot to write down.
Yes?
And that one's going to, what's it called?
Hey, what's it called? I'm not you, I don't know. I don't know, Casey. What is it called? Oh, pray tell.
Oh, boy.
That's what she said. Or was that Whoa Boy?
No, Oh Boy was that song by Buddy Holly that was later a country version by Marie McCormick. But anyhow,
okay, yes.
I know the word Rome is in there somewhere.
Tony Rome? No, couldn't be. So Rome is in the title somewhere.
Yeah, Rome is in the title. And I watched a preview of it online. It's English, but there's also Italian spoken. It's a great.
Is it the Woody Allen one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I watched the trailer at
IMDb.
No, actually, I watched it at comingsoon.net. But it doesn't matter. We'll probably run the same trailers. It's the one,
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it. Just keep talking.
The one where they show it and then.
I'll make us look intelligent and give me a minute. I know the one you're talking about. I really want to see it. To Rome with Love.
To Rome with Love. Yeah, that's right. To Rome with Love. And so, the trailer shows these parts over there in Italian and these parts in English and.
Yeah, it's April 20th.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay, and that's let's see here. It's written and directed by Woody Allen, starring Woody Allen. Yes, about freaking time. Ellen Page. Woo.
Yep.
Jesse Eisenberg. Yep. Penelope Cruz. Alec Baldwin. Judy Davis.
You say everyone's name or?
Just the ones that jump out at me.
What about? You say her up there.
Alison Pill.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Roberto. That guy. It's the Italian guy.
Yeah, good luck.
Roberto Benigni, I think.
Benigni. Good luck to you. I'm kidding. He's probably a good actor, and I'll find out shortly when I see that movie. But anyway, continue. Yes, this looked good.
Yeah, so it looked good, and I like that part in the trailer where they make a comment about Alec Baldwin, or about, and he agrees with it.
Wasn't that fantastic? Wasn't that fantastic? Alec Baldwin is such an underrated actor, I think.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Oh, what else have we got here? Let's
save. I don't have to. I didn't write S down for that.
Save activity.
No, just safe. It's just safe.
Okay.
I wrote numbers code. 12-year-old genius girl, Asian
Okay.
girl. WTAL on 7D. That's 7 days. I know that. Dang it.
I have no idea.
I gotta write things out further.
Yeah, you do. What else do you have? Just skip over that one. DS.
Whatever that is. Dictator. Chernobyl Diaries.
Where's that? Let's go back. Dictator. Why? Sacha Baron frickin' Cohen.
Yeah, I know, but I just wrote these down. I stopped after a while.
Yeah.
I stopped before I went too far into the future and beyond people's,
Comprehension.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Chernobyl Diaries. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
Switch.
SW and SMG. Boy, what does SMG stand for? I'll read a little description. It's it's from the producers of Little Miss Sunshine, and it's basically about solving this guy who believes that he solved the riddle about time travel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know the right guy, but I just can't think of the title.
So there's that one.
Okay.
God, I really wish I'd written down some. Oh boy, that's all.
That's all you had?
No, I mean this is all like letters and.
Okay, well let's go back to, you said you'd had some plays that you were looking forward to.
These weren't that I was looking forward to. These were just ones that what the heck would RS be? RS on stage in an essay. I was on this site, and it had like this area where it said stage, and that was one of the ones on there.
Okay, well, given that you don't on the site.
I remember now.
Yes.
Okay, some years back, to jog people's memories, so you don't know.
How far back are we going?
Not that far back, but this is on stage, yes, but there's a film. I mean, it originally was a movie. Okay.
Take time.
And there was this movie some odd years ago.
Yes.
Called Sister Act.
Yes. Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg. So basically, this is now on stage.
Yeah, Sister Act, the musical.
With Raven Simone playing Whoopi Goldberg's character.
Yeah.
Also, there's talks. And then what was this thing?
Sister Act.
Sister Act on stage, and then there's a little tidbit on there. It didn't say that it was decided upon. It just had basically you could click in to read more, and it's basically Kevin Smith talking about not doing films anymore, thinking wouldn't it be fun to take something to stage, and basically that's what it said. It didn't really say whether it was going to be decided upon or not. It just said
Yeah, no, he's mused about before doing Clerks the musical, but he's never actually gone and actually seriously pursued it. Although I think he could do it.
Okay.
Can you imagine the song 37 Dicks, though? Can you imagine printing out the booklet for that?
I did read this for Savages. Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Smith's last movie, for those who don't know it, Kevin Smith is a writer, director, producer, editor, and actor and comedian who did movies like Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Clerks 2, Jersey Girl, Zack and Mary Make a Porno, and Red State. And he wrote a few other films and or a couple of other things, and or was a contributor to something. And he was an executive producer on Good Will Hunting with his friend Scott Mosier. Anyway, he's retiring from films, unfortunately, and his last movie is going to be a movie called Hit Somebody, and he's doing it in 2 parts, and no word yet on when he's actually going to begin production, but it's rumored sometime later this year. So, go ahead.
So anyhow, getting away from films and stage.
Yes.
What
else is there?
Actually, although I've only seen a couple of the interviews, not intentionally.
Yes. I'm listening.
I have seen. I saw the interview of Steven Tyler in New Hampshire, and I saw the interview of George Lucas on at Skywalker Ranch.
Yeah.
And so those were good, and I do want to see more of the interviews because I like I like I think it's more open.
Yep.
I mean, she's a great interviewer anyhow, but you take her out of the studio setting and you bring her to people's places, and it has this feel that just feels comforting or like homely or.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you to save the other stuff that you have. I know this sounds a little bit choppy the way that this just happened, but I'm going to ask you to save your stuff, the rest of it, for the next episode that we'll record immediately after this, and then we can get silly after that with it. But I have some stuff that I thought was kind of funny. This is not necessarily celeb stuff, so let me just cap off the movies and stuff that we were talking about by saying I'm thoroughly looking forward to The Raven, The Three Stooges, American Reunion, which is now out in theaters, and Titanic 3D, and The Avengers 3D. Those are going to be great, I think. And I'm happy to say that the original cast is back for all those films that require the original cast being there. So I'm happy about that. So that said, let's hope that those are as good as I think they're going to be. And that's as far as in the future as I'm going to get right now. But there are other films later in the year that maybe you'll agree, like Twilight 4 Part 2, or known as Twilight 5, the movie, which is also known as Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's about as far as I go. There are some other films around that time, and hopefully, if the fates allow, we can do another podcast as time gets closer and be able to discuss that stuff. Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, that said, I came across an article, and this sounded like a friend of mine, so I figured I'd share it with you. It's from http://www.huffingtonpost.com/Bree dash MARESCAKRAMER/seven dash signs dash keys dash never dash going dash t line b line 1327631.html. That said, the article. Phew, that took forever. The article is titled 7 Signs He's Never Going to Propose. I don't need to read the article in its entirety to you, but I'm going to tell you that this spurred something that I call the sevens list. If you want to take a look at that, you can follow along, because I'm going to go on to the sevens list here. The sevens list is a list of several stories that I composed compiled together. One of them is that one, so I will get to that in a moment. But what's the sevens list without the 7 dirty words, aka the 7 words you can never say on television, by George Carlin? So for those who don't know it, this contains vulgar language, so stop listening right now if you don't want to hear it. But if you do, grit your teeth, and here we go. Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits. That's the 7 words that you can never say on television. He also added in the 70s turd and twat to the list. In the 80s at Carnegie Hall, he added many more that I did not take the time to write down because they were way too long and would have taken up in this entire list. But you can see that at George Carlin at Carnegie Hall. So if you want to type that into your YouTube browser, you can find it. It's hysterical.
This doesn't belong on the list.
Yeah. So this is now the 7 signs he's never going to propose. Number 1, he only makes plans for the immediate or short term. He's always ready to make a date for tonight or this weekend, but rarely makes plans for the distant future. For instance, you'll ask him to plan a romantic vacation for next year, and he acts hesitantly, telling you, that sounds great, but let's wait until it gets closer before booking the flight and the hotel. 2, he rarely sings your praises in front of his friends and family. This can be spotted when you're around those closest to him, and they say something effective, wow, Bob never told us how smart and talented you are. A man who is serious about you and your future together raves about you. Well, that's not always true, but in this particular instance, it might be, who knows. Number 3, in social settings, when the topic of marriage or children comes up, he quickly changes the subject. In addition, if he cannot change the subject, he will try to distract you or remove you from the conversation. He may mention the buffet and that he is hungry so that he can avoid needing to have face-to-face questions from the conversation. In other words, face conversation questions like, hey, why did you pull me away from that? I was having fun talking about marriage.
Hey, now.
Number 4. He tells you he's too stressed at work to think about getting married now, but maybe in a few months he can focus on it. He's doing this to buy more time with you before being cornered into dealing with the subject of marriage. Number 5. He avoids talking about a deeper commitment and tells you that he's happy with the way things are. Why ruin it? When a man tells you this, it's a big red flag that he does not have the intention of taking your relationship to the next level. Number 6, he avoids serious talks about the future by diverting your attention. Often a man will do this by trying to make you laugh or engage you in a fun activity. Remember, his goal is to keep you happy and around without having further the commitment. I swear to God, that's the part that sounds exactly like my friend. No lie. Number 7, he will compliment you without adding himself in the mix. He will tell you how great you are and how much he admires you, but will never say anything like, I'm so lucky to be with you, or you're the woman for me. Does anybody actually talk like that, really? And of course, so that was the list of 7 ways to tell he's never going to propose. Then I came up with the 7 deadly sins, which I had to use in my own life several times in pointing out somebody else's flawed behavior towards me. Number 1, wrath. Number 2, greed. Number 3, sloth. Number 4, pride. Number 5, lust. Number 6, envy. Number 7, gluttony. 7 ways to scare your roommate. Casey goes bug eyes.
I have to get my quotes up on here.
Here's what I thought you might get a kick out of. Ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to start with number 7. Number 7. Talk back to your Rice Krispies. All of a sudden, act offended. Now throw the bowl on the floor and kick it. Refuse to clean it up. Explaining, no, I want to watch them suffer. Number 6, every time your roommate walks in, you yell, hooray, you're back, as loud as you can, and dance around the room for 5 minutes. Afterwards, keep looking at your watch and saying, shouldn't you be going somewhere? Number 5, make a sandwich. Don't eat it. Leave it on the floor, ignore the sandwich, wait until your roommate gets rid of it, and then say, hey, where the heck is my sandwich? Complain loudly that you're hungry. Number 4, while your roommate is out, glue your shoes to the ceiling. When your roommate walks in, sit on the floor and hold your head and moan. Sounds like a bad Halloween joke, doesn't it? Number 3, tell your roommate, I've got an important message for you. Then pretend to faint. When you recover, say you can't remember what the message was. Later on, say, oh yeah, now I remember. Pretend to faint again. Keep this up for several weeks. Can I have your attention for this one? Since we're getting down to the last 2.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, collect hundreds of pens and pile them on one side of the room. Keep one pencil on the other side of the room. Laugh at the pencil. Number 1, buy some knives. Sharpen them every night. While you're doing so, look at your roommate and mutter, soon. Funny as that is, don't actually do it. 7 ways to get a guy to like you. Number 1, keep your thoughts zen. Number 2, be yourself, the real one. There's a few instances where I can think of where that would not be a good idea. Number 3, don't be afraid of letting your hair down. In other words, be yourself again. Number 4, you have a brain? Use it. Number 5, an interesting hobby. Number 6, look good when you need to. Number 7, be aggressive. Be aggressive. 7 steps to getting a girlfriend. 1. Do not set out to find a girlfriend. Number 2, adopt the attitude of an interviewer. Number 3, become a social strategist. Number 4, multiple streams of female income. In other words, have multiple forms of income and females will like you. Number 5, know what kind of woman you really want. Number 6, date enough women to know what you really want. Number 7, get out there and meet as many people as you possibly can. Warning about number 6. Date enough women to know what you really want. That can also work against you. Because if you date too many women, then women go, what's the word for man whore?
Yeah.
So, 7 ways to get rid of a guy. Number 7, stare at their forehead during the entire conversation. Number 6, find out their pet peeves and act on them. Number 5, limit your availability online and on the phone. Number 4, pretend he is dead. Number 3, find out the types of person that they don't like. Number 2, tell him you have a big jealous boyfriend. And number 1, tell him to go away. Oh, if it were only that simple, ladies. And now, that all got me thinking about 7 ways to tell she's just not that into you. So, here we go. You ready? Number 7, she never answers any questions you ask her. Number 6, she acts like you're not around even if you're standing right next to her. Number 5, she gives your friend her phone number, but not you. Number 4, she refers to her current conversation with you in the past tense. Number 3, she moves away when she sees you coming towards her. Number 2, when you try to make a social plan with her, even if she's already committed, she lies about why she can't do it to get out of it. And number 1, she tells you, you dummy. And 7 ways to tell he's just not that into you. This is partially based on reality and partially fictionalized and has no relation to the movie, so nobody can make that claim. Number 7, when you talk to him about an activity you're going to be doing with a tone that indicates that you want him to do it with you, and he tells you, have fun, he just may not be that into you. Number 6. You want to read number 6?
Whenever you see him, he devotes less than 1% of his attention to you. He just may not be that into you.
Number 5. When you ask him questions that involve more than a yes or a no answer, and he still only answers yes or no, he just may not be that into you. Number 4.
If you talk about your opinions and sex and he goes to sleep, he just may not be that into you.
Number 3. If you ask him anything about himself and he still only answers why, he just may not be that into you. Number 2.
If at Halloween, when you're dressed up like a slut, and you say to him, trick or treat, and he walks away, he may not be that into you.
And number 1, if you send him a picture of yourself naked, and regardless of the time of year this occurs, he writes back, Happy Halloween, he just may not be that interested in you. And bonus, if you tell him at Christmas what you want, and he looks at you with a straight face and replies, ho, 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 He just may not be that into you. And finally, 7 ways to tell that someone has lost their mind. Here, I'll let you read this.
Number 7. If they accuse you of lying to them when you've done all you've done is tell the truth, they may not. They may be losing their mind. Number 6. If they make you wait for extended periods of time beyond reason without explanation and are oblivious when you are pissed at them, they may be losing their mind. If they make statements like, people should be more like me, while preaching about what people are doing wrong, even though they do the same things and are oblivious about it, they may be losing their minds. Santorum.
It doesn't say Santorum on there for the record. I don't want to be sued.
If they... I'll go more into my bit.
I've already fought the government once.
I'll go more into my bit on the Republican Party later on.
Yeah.
If they tell you that you're wrong because you saw and heard with your own eyes and ears didn't happen even though you were there for it, and they think that you'll believe them, they may be losing their mind. If they say things out of left field and expect you to have coherent conversation built on it, they may be losing their mind. If they expect you to do things that they themselves aren't willing to do, they may be losing their mind.
And number 1.
If they insist that their farts are attractive to their significant other, they may be losing their mind. Jesus. Oh, Lord.
That's true. Somebody I know actually said that. He said, his girlfriend's name was my farts. I said, no, dude, you must be a good kisser because I know that don't you sticky around with all the fumes out here. Mr. Subtlety, I am not, but I sure as hell make a good point every now and again. So I see here that you have a precariously placed phone to tell me something from. Oh, pray tell, what is it?
Oh, speaking of beer.
Yes. Wait a second.
I'm going to give people their due credit so that people don't go, what the heck? You didn't say that.
When did you become Asian?
So, speaking of beer...
We don't talk much.
Speaking of beer...
I didn't say anything about beer.
Oh, I saw you drinking a beer, so... Speaking of beer...
Okay, go on. Continue.
Here's a quote... Or here, in the words of Robin Williams...
Yes?
Beer commercials usually show big men... manly men doing manly things. You just kill a small animal. It's time for a light beer. Why not have a realistic commercial? With a realistic thing about beer. Where someone goes, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. You just pissed on a dumpster. It's Miller time.
Nice. Just make this one dark.
Oh, it's at the bottom here. Just be... What do you got? Okay.
I think it was read something more like... Oh, wait a second. Here's a better one.
What, the one below?
Cocaine is God's way of saying you're making too much money. Tom Kerr should remember that. You can talk about same-sex marriage, but people who have been married say it's the same sex all the time. I know a bunch of people up here that love to hear that one. Alright. Why do they call it rush hour when nobody moves? Good question. Why do they call it Russia?
When the media asks, George W. Bush a question, he answers, "Can I use a lifeline?" What's right is what's left if you do everything else wrong.
That makes about as much straight sense as up the street the soldiers they come marching down. It makes sense, but it's horrible grammar.
The Statue of Liberty is no longer saying, "Give me your poor, you're tired, you're huddled masses." She's got a baseball bat and yelling, "You want a piece of me?"
Let's read that the way they was meant to be read. Ready? On the count of three, say that last part with a little bit of emphasis on the anchor side. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
She's got a baseball bat and yelling, "You want a piece of me?"
There you go. Goodbye.
The Russians love Brooke Shields because her eyebrows remind them of Leonid Brett. I can't even pronounce that name. Forget it.
Screw it. That's what she said.
Spring is nature's way of saying, "Let's party."
I saw that one about cocaine.
Reality, what a concept.
Nice.
People say satire is dead. It's not dead, it's alive and living in the White House.
And let's stop there with that stuff.
And there's a whole bunch of more other people.
Oh, of course. Of course, Robert Williams has thousands of jokes.
Yeah, and then I have my, little things here. Like the laughs and the applause and all this stuff too. On a separate app, of course. But.
Right. What Casey's talking about, because that sounds like it's on left field, is, let me very quickly get into this. You have an application on your phone, or an app as it's called, that has different laughs and applause and stuff on it, right?
Yeah, different effects.
No.
And the one that we're reading from is called Com Quotes.
Okay, so
and it's got everybody from Robin Williams to Groucho Marx to Bill Cosby. It's listed alphabetically because that's the way they did it.
Right. For those who couldn't pick up on it, by the way, in the not the losing control, in the it's same story basically, but in the moving violations episodes, there's a quote of, "Are you a corrupt politician or am I being redundant?" That was Groucho Marx saying that from a episode of What's My Line. And he made it in there because of the fact that Jane Sanders is the wife of Senator Bernie Sanders. So it fits. It's appropriate. It's a corrupt politician. And that's why it was funny. For those who couldn't pick up on that. You just learned something new. What do you know? So you've been entertained and you learned something new in this episode.
And Jane Sanders has been wandering around the Twilight Zone.
Nice. And with that, I have a feeling we should draw this to a close. So that's this episode. I'm Nate Taves.
I'm Casey Khoury.
Have a good one. Thank you. Thank you very much. Go fuck yourself.
Oh.